Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Katie and we're on day 14 of Mermay, and today's prompt is Adrift. So you might have gathered just after the intro that I've got a bit of a brusho obsession, and yes, you could say I have. However, I've had a lot of those for a long time, so it's a bit of an old obsession. But they're amazing. I mean, just look at how they're dissolving into them little pools of water. They're just magical. And that's what I chose to do for today's prompt. So let's get on to talking about the picture. So our mermaid, who has been named Finley by one of my subs, Janet, so thank you very much, and of course Claudia, are in their fishbowl, out at sea, but they're still in the fishbowl, they're being good and they're still isolating. And they're just adrift. It's a pretty obvious one to do actually, but I just wanted to make it look a little bit more out of their control. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? So I did the bowl slightly tilted just to add a bit of unpredictability to their situation. And I really like it. I don't know why. I just like the design and how it came out, and they're both gazing out to sea just to see what's going on. So I've applied the brusho in two ways on here. First of all is just using it like an ink and painting it on as I would, I suppose, like a watercolour as well. And then my second application is to add a wash of water, just clean water, although it was a little bit stained blue, but that's because I was being a bit lazy. And then just sprinkling some of the brusho particles straight on there. And I really like just how it's bloomed and done its thing in the water. To add a bit of contrast to the water that's in the fishbowl, I just made sure it had that nice sea green element to it so you could differentiate. Now, by doing the sprinkling technique, it did leave a bit of a problem. So as you can see, I'm going in there with blue ink, but the particles of the yellow are so fine, and I did dust it off, but it just sat into the grain of the paper and made the sky this sort of bizarre green colour. Never mind. And it's one of the charms of brusho, really. You know, it's quite fun. It was a bit of a challenge to work around it. So I thought, well, let's try and make a bit of a cloudy look and blot it a bit with some tissue paper, and that seemed to do a job. So I think I kind of rescued it in the end, but it did keep coming back to haunt me. Personally, I like to use brusho more as a ink rather than it being sprinkled on, mainly because it just goes everywhere, and even the tiniest little grains of it seem to pop up. As she's looking pretty yellow here, I did try and rescue it, but we can't win all the time, and I still think it kind of is a nice picture. It's quite nice and tranquil. You get the idea that they're just sort of looking forwards to see where they're going to end up, really. Although this is mostly brusho though, I did use the liner pen as always, and I did go in there with a white gel pen. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, let me know what you think in the comments, and of course if you are new here and made it this far in the video, why not hit subscribe and you can keep up to date with all the others. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.